and it was gone.
I was thinking about it today as far as just like having some things that I could say about these songs in preparation for this conversation, and I had this thought about And It Was Gone that I think I don't know that I necessarily had before, but I think explains fairly well why it's first, and I think to me feels, great that it is first. So in the in the time period of when I wrote the songs, it was right before I left. It was that year in high school, my senior year, before I left for college to Barcelona, Spain. And so I think a theme of And It Was Gone is death and dying. But when you think about death and dying, everything goes away, but when something goes away, it gives space for something else to come. Inhibition was one that I wrote at St. Augustine in my room, was the initial spark of the idea. The party was going in full swing, and it was one of those moments where it was like, all right guys, I'm gonna go do some work now. So I literally stumble back to my room, go to my guitar, and I'm looking for something that, I don't know where it came from, because I really love that feeling of almost literally discovering something.
Yeah.
Now, no idea is completely original. There's nothing new under the sun. That's how I feel. But I love having the sensation of feeling like you just broke new ground. So that's big for me, especially with these songs. And so I stumble back to my room, get to my guitar, detune the thing so it's in some tuning that no one could identify. And I just start kind of like, doing this crazy thing where the guitar just sounds otherworldly, almost like a different instrument. I'm using my voice, or I'm just kind of like bending my voice, and I'm already kind of inebriated. And so it felt like this kind of psychedelic rock, but not rock that I kind of knew of. It was like a different kind of psychedelic rock thing that was going on.
I was wrong.
I Was Wrong is a companion piece to Inhibition for sure. Same key, same crazy tuning, but very different feeling. It was something that I had and I thought was really cool, but it was not a song in the sense of, a single, or necessarily in the sense of music that I'd written before. It was kind of different structure-wise. It didn't really, just a different thing, but I liked it a lot.
I know where I want to be, is underneath the waves swimming.
Well, it starts again at St. Augustine, very similar to Inhibition. How I guess I got hot there for a little bit, where I had all the time in the world to write and all the time in the world to party. And so, I would literally, it would be like with the guys partying, and then I'd come back and I'd write, and there was just like a very, there was like no turnaround as far as like what I was doing in between. And that was my life, partying and writing. And so Swimming in Your Sea was one of those moments where I had such an excitement when that idea came. Well, I can say that there definitely is there's a longing in the song. It's a longing for something. What that is, I'm not gonna say.
And again, get knocked down.
LA was something that I, felt connected to Swimming in Your Sea for sure. That was a big part of it, its connection to Swimming in Your Sea. I think part of the chords in LA was something I was messing around with, like just before I wrote Swimming in Your Sea, or just after, ironically. It was the original idea for what the lyrics ended up being for the song LA evolved, and I didn't really quite get it until after. But actually the music part for it, and probably kind of the melody, it was written like in that same time.
I haven't slept. I could barely.
Turn My World was written in December 2015. The idea came in kind of little sparks, and then I pieced them together pretty quickly. And yeah, within a couple of days, it had the verse, it had the chorus, and it had the down, that riff.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fully formed, pretty fast, that one.
I don't mind if you waste my time.
That was another one I wrote in Spain, St. Augustine. It was a hazy sort of, it had this hazy, like reverby sound that I really liked about the demo. And the feeling of the song, there's definitely some dysfunction there. And I think that the sort of dissonance of the chords marries well to that kind of dysfunctional idea.
Chase the rabbit down a hole, but I don't know where it goes.
White Rabbit, it's a great analogy. Everyone knows that whole thing, and
Story, yeah, exactly.
and it felt really right for the time, because it was like that. You felt like you were in Wonderland, being in Barcelona after growing up somewhere that was so different than it, and having refinements of being a student or being a son, and then all of a sudden being like in Spain and having no limitations at all and stuff. It was like this Wonderland kind of thing. So I felt that, and I think the guys that were around felt that, and so it was a song that stuck. I think that Black Hole worked best as this kind of an interlude. And selfishly, it's so beautiful for me to hear it, because it brings back all these different possibilities. It's still kind of incomplete in a way, but it's incomplete to the just right amount. And for me, when I hear it and play it and stuff, it brings back everything that it was. And maybe for other people, when they hear it, it can do that. It can kind of resonate this world of possibilities of melody and guitar and vocals and stuff. And that's where it felt best for me.
It just keeps on doing circles, round and around it goes.
In that song, I think there's this youthful spirit that is just coming to this age where you become conscious of all this corruption that exists, and there's this kind of thing that gets boiled down to like negativity or positivity. And I think that youthful innocence, positive thing that I had to offer, it still resonates with me now, and I just love playing that song. It's a great vehicle for me as not only a songwriter, but also a guitar player and musician, that song. The overall thing of what I was trying to do as a songwriter, what I was trying to do as a musician, it came together at St. Augustine. And so it was the right thing to call the record.